Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about a band that has apparently been around for a while, but just came into the scene, we'll say. What does that mean? Anyway, they just kind of blew the hell up and came onto my radar. Somebody that barely even talks to me sent me this thing, like, did you hear this band? And I normally don't listen to too much new music or that much music at all because I'm always kind of practicing singing and things like that. So I listened to it, and at first you hear this song called The Summoning. And you're like, all right, this is heavy and kind of catchy, and it's pretty badass. Like, the production is amazing. It's really done well. And then, first of all, we're talking about a song on YouTube with, kind of a weird video that blew up and got, I think, millions of views within like a couple weeks, which never happens with, especially like progressive metal music, or barely with rock music and stuff anymore. It just doesn't really happen much anymore. So instantly you're like, what the fuck is going on? And we're talking about, I think it's a 6 to 7 minute song. It is 6 minutes and 36 seconds long. So once again, totally not something that should be doing something like this. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this band because they're super talented, and I got to listen to the whole album. I think there's only 5 tracks released now, but I knew somebody that had the whole album, so I got to listen to that because I'm cool. And yeah, it's just really interesting. So right out of the gate, if you haven't listened to this, you have to stop this video and go listen to some of this music. If you're like me, I'm 38 years old, so some of this, when I was listening to it, especially the first song, The Summoning, as I was saying, it runs for 6 minutes and 36 seconds. So you get through the heavy part, you enter into ethereal, like kind of atmospheric part for minutes, which is just kind of like, interesting, beautiful kind of sounds. Then you come into almost like a dance mix, electronic kind of thing, where you're like, dude, what the fuck? So when I initially heard that, and this is why I'm making the video, because I wanted to hear what other people thought of this. When I heard that, the whole everything inside me was like, this sucks. I don't like this. What the fuck are they doing? And this little angry, grumpy kid came out like, you're not supposed to do that. That's not cool. And then you listen to it more, and then you're like, it's kind of cool, I guess. And then you listen to some more of the songs, and some of the stuff gets even more poppy, more hip-hop-y, more all of that. And yeah, still parts of me kind of kept fighting against it. But then I kind of stepped back from my stupid grumpy guy emotions, and I recognize that most of the time when something breaks through, it is because of people mixing things together that people would not necessarily think could be mixed together. If we go back to Ray Charles, he was mixing together blues and gospel, and people were like, you're gonna die and go to the devil and be in hell. And then Elvis was mixing together black music and country music, and you're gonna go to hell. Fucking dumb people. And so a lot of times these, and the Beatles, and so many people would mix together some things that maybe they liked, and I don't think it was necessarily contrived, where they're just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I bet people would like it. They're doing it because they really enjoy it. And then some part of people, including myself, go, I don't know about this. And then we kind of, I don't know, something tingly-dinglies in our heart, and we're like, this is pretty good. So, the singer, whom shall remain nameless because I can appreciate and respect the fact that he does not want to be known and stuff. So that's another element of this music, is that these people are dressing up in the most ridiculous, like chaotic, satanic-looking stuff. The music's not satanic, though. But anyway, the singer... very, very talented, and doing some things that myself as a singer I wanted to talk about as well. So anyway, if you listen to this music, let's peruse through some of this. So we'll go, I'm going to turn this down so I don't blow anybody's ears off. Here's the song, the intro song. We're going to hear it blast off here. I've got a blood trail So we hear it's, once again, pretty rough music, but a very nice emphasis on the vocals. Then I think the second track I heard was this, Aqua Regia. So this is like very dancey electronic pop.
Well, my love is an animal call, cutting through the darkness, bouncing off the walls, between teeth on a broken jaw, following a blood trail, frothing at the moor.
So, once again, if you're some kind of a purist of some sort, which I guess some part of me must claim to be deep down in my insides, when you hear that, you're like, fuck that shit. And then listen to that song like 3 more times and you'll be like, I like this. I like this a lot. And it's very, very addictively catchy. And good on them, you know what I mean? Good for them. So similar things, similar vibes. There's some stuff, as I mentioned in the album, that goes even farther in the direction of the hip-hoppy kind of pop type of direction. I think from the conversations I was having, the lead singer was more from the pop region in music and was doing more of that stuff, and then must have had an affinity for metal music as well. This is a great song as well. We'll peruse through this. One great thing about this song, Chokehold, is that it starts off in that similar vein and then kind of starts building, and then at one part, I think this, or it might have been Granite, it was actually another song called Granite. Anyway, it stays in that kind of electronic realm, and then I was sitting there like, man, I wonder what would happen if it just fucking hit and got like heavy, and then sure enough it did, and I was like, can they hear my thoughts? So here's Granite.
You'll never want to talk about it. Fury.
So let's get to the chorus.
I see you go half blind when you're looking at me, but I am.
All right, ready? We're gonna dance.
When you sit there, acting like you know me, acting like you only brought me here to get below me. Never mind the death threats, plotting at the door. We'd rather be 6 feet under than be lonely. And if you had a problem, then you should have told.
Catchy stuff, man. So, you should listen to them. We should all listen to them. Super fun. Watch some of their stage stuff online. It's, like I said, it's the kind of stuff that your grandmother would be really upset about, the kind of things that they're wearing. Lyrically, wonderful. Not somebody that's, I love Ghost, but every song is about Satan. It gets a little redundant after a while, where it's like a new way to talk about the Dark Lord. And I like that they can have this aesthetic, and he can write about his life and all this different stuff. And there's a lot of love problems and different things happening, but a great lyricist. It's another thing you're going to be struck with when you hear this. Lastly, I'll say too, before I talk about his voice for a second, is that one of the craziest things about it too is I watch some of the live footage and you see everybody singing along, every word. Within weeks of the release, everybody's singing along. And I think that's pretty amazing when you can write a song that people sing along to, but you can also write fucking heavy music, and people are like, I know every word to this, and I'm going to sing along loudly. That's pretty badass. So anyway, not that I need a piano. That's not working anyway. But let's talk about his voice for a second. So, once again, if you haven't listened, go listen to it. But you're going to hear some interesting things from this person in that whether he's coming from a realm of, pop, like I mentioned, and he's mimicking somebody, or he pulled a style or an idea of a style from somebody, he's using a shitload of jaw and cheek and mouth to make these sounds and to create his sound, his signature sound, if you will. So sometimes these things are hard to develop, they're hard to make choices, and it's kind of bold to make a choice and be like, I'm going to sing like this. In this case, there could definitely be something to be said about people hearing his voice and then instantly being like, why are you doing that? It didn't really throw me at first, but then when I really started listening, I was like, oh yeah, he just buckles down and stays in that sound all the time. Now, if you're an aspiring singer and you like the sound of something like this, know that this can definitely pull in jaw tension and everything, because once again, we're getting a lot of the sound from that. If we come right here, we'll come to this song, Chokehold.
We were made
First line.
when we were made.
So if we were completely unscathed and open, when we were made, it was no accident. So that's how it goes. So that's without any cheek, jaw, mouth. But he's every time, when we were made, it was no accident. Oh, so I keep me. So there's a lot of jaw movement in there and everything. And once again, it's pretty awesome. If you remember, I did a video talking about Scott Stapp, with his arms wide open. Kind of similar in that respect, where it can definitely lead to vocal issues because these things interact with the voice in more of an unhealthy way. And when you start trying to go higher, these muscles, especially if you've been already kind of utilizing a lot of them, are big muscle groups that want to grab a hold of the sound and be like, we got this, brother. And that can be problematic. If I take, the piano's not working. If I take a middle C, which I'm just going to guess, something like that maybe, and then I start going up, but I have a sound like that engaged, it starts going and increasing, and all the tension starts to compound on each other, and it becomes problematic. I've heard him sing some decently high notes, but for the most part, he's utilizing falsetto, and he's maybe a little bit of head voice, but for the most part, he's doing that thing that a lot of people do where they're taking chest voice up decently high, and then they're just utilizing falsetto and stuff. Once again, though, not something typically done that much in terms of metal music, because let's also mention, if you use falsetto a lot and you're in any kind of a band that's got a decent, like a little bit of a rock sound or anything like that, it can be very hard on stage to sing with falsetto. It's very hard to hear yourself, and the second you go to falsetto and you maybe heard yourself in your in-ears or your monitor, that shit disappears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Beach Boys singing live. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. When they were doing that falsetto stuff, I've seen show after show where it fucking sucked. And that's nothing against them, the brilliant people that wrote brilliant harmonies and everything, but live, falsetto usually just doesn't work very well. It disappears. It's similar to a rock person. I think about System of a Down singing heavy and then having to go, yeah, and whisper. Unless you got a decent amount of compression and stuff, or you're cupping the mic, your voice disappears, and it's just, it's really hard. I actually, in my cover band, sing... there's that What I Like About You song. What I like about you, you really know how to dance. There's a part in the end of that song where he goes, what I like about you. And we have to all as a band collectively get quiet for me to, and I'm cupping the mic and everything just to try to get through going, what I like about you. So interesting thing there. But like I said, wanted to talk about this band, wanted to talk about this dude's music and his voice. Seems like a very talented band. I'm excited to see more of what they do. I was also thrown by a lot of the video stuff, which I know a lot of people will be too, these weird characters and stuff, and then I found out that stuff's basically Warhammer, which is people sitting around painting tiny figurines. You'll hear Henry Cavill does that. Apparently this person is into that too. Maybe we're not supposed to know that. Does it matter? I don't know. But I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you for joining me, everybody. We're going to talk about some more singing here soon, so I will see you soon.